in the whip, and I done there every girl on my list. KD at the 3, Djokovic with the racket. Phelps in the pool, I'm like Spieth at the Masters. Girl, you know you a bad. Girl, you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rack with my new advance.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Miami Dolphins. Two teams here playing for pride as the final week of the NFL season is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First carry for Kenyon Drake. And this first play will get him back to the 25, but that's going to be it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Well, they had to run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Back to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. This is brought in at the 21. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And his first look is incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
They're going to look to throw. Going up top. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now a handoff looking right. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
Watching that, Marty!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to George Kittle, his tight end. And that'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. They get it to him running left. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll run him now out of the gun. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a 4th and goal. Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive stalls out, but the field goal does get them the first points of the night.
And 3 points, not to be underestimated. How about this, right? You're on the road. You're under the lights. National television audience. This is not a dress rehearsal, partner. This is for real. And a pretty nice opening statement.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early. But if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, it's Drake. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Josh Doctson's got it complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there of 20 yards. A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Drake. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The gun. They'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doctson. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Looking to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. 2nd quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football. They take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And they'll try the ground game here with a running back. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. They got his man complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Gets this one left side to Pettis. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 47. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. That's caught inside the 20. That goes for a gain of 31. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Micah Fitzpatrick made the play defensively, the first-round pick out of Alabama.
Inside the red zone, and that means don't come away from there with anything less than 3 points, but everyone's thinking about 6. They're trying to get to the end zone. They decide to run a toss. Big people up front being mobile and moving, and a running back trying to follow behind them to find yardage, and that's exactly what he did.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game, and I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains, didn't force the ball downfield, picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open, just a split second too late on the release. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll drop to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Dante Pettis with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Completes it right side to Dodson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Albert Wilson, the intended receiver there. And it's 2nd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
They'll set up a throw. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. A deep ball for Dotson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Reuben Foster picks it. Then he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. He'll look to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards. This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half. And he's got a 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. Throw right side taken in by Pettis. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This will be taken in at the 1. Now a hit and a loose football. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
As that ball got away from him and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. On Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Watch it now, Barney!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Trent Murphy. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. And the 49ers going to take another timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. The Dolphins on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 16. They'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he puts a little something extra into this one, by far his best of the night. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll throw now on the final play. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Gone! Watch it now, Barney!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
The Niners on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19. Over.
Back to throw here. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. Gun!
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And 3 yards there takes them to the 45.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw here. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Watch him now, Barney.
They're going to look to throw. Flush to his right. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll be taken down at the 18. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Right back to Dre. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Carson, and he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Watch it now,
On the toss play, this is Drake. And he'll get this one up to the 26. And a tackle that time by Ahkello Witherspoon.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
No. Check. Patriot. Hurry up. Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll set up to throw. And he finds Stills complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. On the give, this is Drake. And he spins past him and into space. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins able to get this back within a touchdown. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get this score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Sanders now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Back to throw. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Back now in Miami. It's 49er football here. They've got the lead as well as we get set to start the 4th and final quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. He's had his interception woes early in his rookie season, but sometimes that happens. There are great examples of guys in the past that have had those same struggles early.
You are so correct. And what the team and organization is hoping, we're going to see these woes now, but later when we're helping him with his Hall of Fame speech, we'll remember his rookie year and how things began.
Let's go. 3-19.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And down to the 36-yard line here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
For Drake. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Lucky 56.
Now on first down, Drake again. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Detroit! Watch him now, Barney!
A pitch out to Drake. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Dolphins on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Gone!
Now back to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first down. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Flushed out right. Deep ball for Goodwin. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by T.J. McDonald. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Here's James. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Back to throw. Complete to the right. This is Garcon. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it. But they've got to continue to move quickly.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. He's back to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. They'll look to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashad Jones. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of 2 halves, won't you?
Right, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 10 yards is the pickup there, and that should just about put a bow on this one.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Dolphins, it will wind up a .500 season as the win means they'll finish right at 8-8. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for the Niners, they wanted desperately to finish at .500, but that won't happen, as it'll be a 7-9 season in the end. And they can take solace in the fact that this team never quit all the way to the end.
I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm like a right now. I do this for my rounds. Oh yeah. Feel like in the real life, dripping on sauce in a good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take mine. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall. Chillin' like a boss with my feet up. Got a bag for him with a visa. Pulling up the on the leader. Getting that while I'm on the. She's a keeper. No burritos. Get to the pesos with amigos. I cannot with no zeros. Don't you run out? No, I can't show you no love, baby. Yeah, I'm a. I am a boss in the cut. Mayday. Bubbles and these models. It's poppin', I tip her. I skip her, I give her the. Girl, you on my line right now. Yeah, I can see the signs right now. Feeling like a boss right now. Feeling like a boss right now. And you just took a loss right now.
All right, gentlemen, we made way too many mistakes this week, okay? The coaching staff has gone in. We've simplified the game plan. Let's go out here and execute. Hey, we got to execute to win.
What do you need? What do you need?
I feel like a boss right now. Talk to the man right now. Feel like the man right now. Your girl on my line right now. Shorty ought to been my feel. Yeah. She love me in the gray sweatpants. You never seen it, I'm glad. Feeling like a boss, I done made it. Get so deep like a spaceship. I swear my life is amazing. Blowing money, no hesitation.
My 20! My 20!
But that's what made me
Man! What do you need? What do you need?
I do this for my rounds. Oh yeah.
Man! Black 80! What do you need?
I defeated my fears, soaked the towel in my tears.
Man!
Ahead of my time, I'm steps in ideas. I'm wiser than my check y'all in y'all beard. I'm willing to fall to my
What do you
fears,
need?
all of my
What do you
fears,
need?
all of my years. Out in the field, take a look at my fears. Never had a thought that it's like this. Considering the cost, I look at my views. I gotta talk to it like you. I've been feeling like a king for months. We eat all the rich cuisine for lunch. All these people wishing he was done. Oh, you tried it, that's a piece of gum. Now, look at me, I'm the captain now. I'm a princess, yeah. I be praying for y'all when I'm praying for y'all. Like I'm cause I'm the mutant in here. We look good, just
Here we go, here we go. What do you need?
Who's the boss? I feel like Tony Danza. Walk up in there like I got the swag. What kind of swagger? I'm the blackest panther. Wakanda, y'all are wasting our time. I spend it, but I ain't wasting a dime. Might do some favors, but I ain't breaking my spine.
Say hi. Here we go, here we go. What do you need?
I talk a lot, but y'all ain't got the heart to do the mission. I'm hard-headed like a juggernaut, but damn. Ain't nothing I can do to listen. I'm authentic and I walk around like
Black 80! What do you need?
Freaking sick, I don't have the walls. Mean, I'm the king, heavy crown, heavy rain, cat and dogs.
Here we go. What do you need?
Then he can just have a better call with a watch face with little dragon balls. Come on, look, you don't need to meet me, but all I need is this.
Black 80!
Gets me excited? The fact that I know we can get better. You guys have so much room to improve still. That is it. Next practice, let's improve.
To do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skip to school, that's the truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a meat, no pneumonia, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a bitch.
You gotta picture me. Send me calling. Ready for war like Korea. Headlining shows out in Poland. You should be cleaning my mansion. My peasants disgusting. Why don't you act like a Hoffman and go get to dustin'? Yeah, latex on my. Go clean my crown. They don't make a sound. Money goes on these. White paint on my toes. When I see that new bay alert. Don't be mad. Jumping in the bed, then I switch to the ghost like who's you? Remember this face, cause I'm that you gon' lose too. Dripping in ice, you looking at you. It's squad goals win. Are you pretty like no?
I never anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skip to school, that's the truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a meat, no pneumonia, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a bitch, jumping in the